So let's look at a couple examples using the idea of parallel lines being crossed by a transversal. So in example 1, it's telling us that angle 6 is 102 degrees. So let's go ahead and write 102 degrees right there. Let's find the measures of angles 7, 3, 8, and 4. So let's start with angle 7. I notice that angles 6 and 7 have one of those special relationships we just talked about, which is that they are same side interior angles. These are same side interior angles, which means that since the lines are parallel, they should be supplementary. They're going to add up to 180. So the measure of angle 6 plus the measure of angle 7 equals 180. Well, that tells me that if I want to find angle 7, all I got to do is take 180 minus 102, and that's 78 degrees. That's going to be my measure of angle 7, 78 degrees. Now, angle 3 right here, I notice is going to be, first of all, I might notice that it's supplementary to angle 7, so I could figure it out that way. I might also notice that it's an alternate interior angle with angle 6. They're both on the inside, but angle 6 is on the right of the transversal, and angle 3 is to the left of the transversal. And we learned that those alternate interior angles, when the lines are parallel, they end up being congruent. So that would mean that angle 3 has to be 102 degrees. If I move to angle 8, I might notice that angles 8 and 3 are vertical angles, so they would have to be congruent. Or perhaps I notice that angles 7 and 8 are a linear pair, so they have to be supplementary. Or maybe I notice that angle 6 and angle 8 are corresponding angles. They're both in the lower right-hand position among their grouping of 4. Lower right-hand spot, lower right-hand spot. And so the fact that they're corresponding angles tells me they have to be congruent. So if angle 6 is 102, then angle 8 has to be 102 degrees as well. Then lastly, I have angle 4. Now angle 4 would be congruent to angle 2 because they're corresponding angles. Or it could be congruent to angle 5 because they're alternate interior angles. Or it could be congruent to angle 7 because they're vertical angles. In any case, what I'm going to find out is, if I look at angle 2, for instance, I know that angles 2 and 6 have to add up to 180 because they're a linear pair. So they'd be 78 degrees. Angle 5 would be 78 degrees. I already know that angle 7 is 78 degrees. So all of that is pointing to, I think, that angle 4 must be 78 degrees. Now in example 2, we're going to apply some of those same ideas, only now with a little bit of algebra involved. So first, let me quickly kind of get rid of these measures that we had for example 1. Let me just kind of make those go away here for a second. And example 2 says, if the measure of angle 2 is 9x and the measure of angle 8 is 16x plus 5, find the measure of angle 4. So we have angle 4 that we're looking for. Angle 2 we know is 9x degrees, and angle 8 is 16x plus 5 for its measure. Now if I look at angles 2 and 8, I might notice that they are actually not one of the special pairs we just learned about. They're not same side interiors. They're not alternate interiors. They fit the alternate part because angle 2 is on the left of the transversal and angle 8 is on the right side. But they're not both interior, so they're not alternate interior angles. They're also not corresponding angles because angle 8 would be in the lower right-hand position among this grouping of 4, but angle 2 is in the lower left-hand position, so they're not corresponding. And they're not alternate exterior angles. For the same reason they're not alternate interior. They're not both on the exterior part, only angle 8 is. So they don't fit any of those special groupings that we've talked about. However, I might notice that angles 8 and 3 are congruent. So if I could find, if I could take this 16x plus 5 and put it here, now I would have a pair right here that would be same side interior angles that would have to add up to 180. Now why is that important? I haven't even mentioned angle 4 yet, and that's what we're supposed to find. Well, if I look at angle 4, I can find the measure of angle 4 if I know really any of these three angles. Angle 2 and angle 4 are corresponding, so if I know angle 2, Angle 4 will be the same thing. Angles 3 and 4 are supplementary because they form a linear pair. Angles 4 and 8 are supplementary for the same reason. So if I can find the measure of any of these angles, then I can just do one little piece of work to figure out what the measure of angle 4 is. But first, in order to find those angle measures, I would have to figure out what x is. And then I could substitute that value of x into one of these expressions to figure out an angle measure. So let's look at the fact that we just said that the measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 3 needs to add up to 180. If I go ahead and take these algebraic expressions and I substitute them into this statement that I made here, then what I will have is an equation that I can solve. 9x plus 16x plus 5 equals 180. That seems like an equation I should be able to solve pretty easily. Let's combine these like terms. 25x plus 5 equals 180. Let's take off 5 from both sides, and I'll continue this up here. So I'm taking off 5 from both sides. So that's going to leave me 25x equals 175. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 25, and I now know that x is equal to, let's see, 175 divided by 25. Let's see, there's 4 25s and 100. There's 3 25s and 75, so that would make 7 25s and 175. X is now equal to 7. So angle 2 would be 9 times 7 degrees, which is 63 degrees. And I know that angles 2, like I said, angles 2 and 4 are going to be congruent because they're corresponding. So the measure of angle 4 is the same as the measure of angle 2. It's 63 degrees.